we're back. This is Elliot and Jose coming to you from Dreamland Comics in Schaumburg, Illinois. Here on the Comic Culture Warrior video channel. Wow, I haven't called it that in a bit. CCW TV is what we call it now. And be on the lookout for the new design of the channel, which should be coming by Season 3, which should be coming soon.
Yeah, that's like 3 months away, dude.
Still. No, 300 is when we skip over to the new season. Yeah, you'll see. And then,
why do we do that?
You'll see. And for those of you who
I'm on this fucking show and you can't even tell me.
And for those who are wondering where the quotes are from the creators that we've been soliciting, those will be incorporated into the new design of the site. So you'll see. And when I say you'll see, what I really mean is I don't know just yet. Anyway, when we last left you, we had done a review of Kill Audio, the highly acclaimed book from Boom Studios. Now we segue into another book that you guys know we loved. We've been praising this book from the very beginning.
Yeah, but this is like 6 months ago since the last issue came out, so no one probably remembers that.
No one remembers. But you must have known that we love us some war heroes. War heroes.
No, we just love some Mark Miller in general.
Mark Miller and Tony Harris with J.D. Metler. No, I'm sorry. J.D. Metler on inks. Issue number 3 of the 5-issue limited series.
Or colors.
Is it colors? Yeah,
Man,
you're right.
You really gotta look at the credits and the numbers of all these fucking things before you review them.
True that.
Make me look bad.
That doesn't take much. The premise of War Heroes is superpowered soldiers in the Middle East, and the twist being that in issue number 2 it was revealed that some of the soldiers in this battalion of superpowered soldiers,
actually they're not superpowered on their own. They have to ingest pills.
Are going to sell those pills and the technology to Al Qaeda, which
because they're greedy bastards.
Yeah, they wanted $10 million. Really, $10 million to betray your country? That's really not a lot of money when you think about it. Well, what happens in the beginning of issue number 3 is a convoy of these super soldiers encounters a meta-powered Al Qaeda operative
who has more than one power.
More than one power, and can take out an entire troop of these superpowered soldiers. And I will say this: Tony Harris does do some really gorgeous
art is really nice
here. The action scenes, this is some really impressive action. And Tony Harris, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Tony Harris, love his Starman stuff, his Ex Machina stuff, all that stuff. I've never known him to be really strong in the action department. He does wonderful layouts and artwork and that, but he really pulls it off nicely.
Well, he has to. Tony Harris is doing the heavy lifting in this issue because this issue will literally take you a minute and a half to read.
Yeah, Mark Miller.
Why did it take that long for this book to come out?
Oh, that's that.
Because it's not Tony Harris's fault.
No, it is Tony Harris. Tony Harris is a very
6 months.
He's slow. He is a meticulous.
But,
very meticulous.
Okay,
artist.
so you have me believe that it's Tony Harris's fault, even though every Mark Miller book that comes out is fucking late as hell.
Yeah, I mean, you still
like
can't.
Kick-Ass?
Yeah, you can't explain to me how Kick-Ass is so far behind
because John Romita Jr.
He's a fast. Yeah, he works pretty.
So
fast.
I'm blaming this on Mark Miller also because none of his books come out on time.
Well, whatever the case may be, you pick up this book 6 months after you thought you were going to get it. And you get into this whole issue where Al Qaeda already has the powers that they were supposed to be buying from these super soldiers, and now you're getting these soldiers are going, oh, what the fuck? Al Qaeda already has it. How are we going to make our money? What are we going to do? And some of these characters are like, well, I'm not going to fight Al Qaeda, and then one of them finds out that his own brother has been captured by Al Qaeda and is going to be executed, and that's when suddenly it's wrong for Al Qaeda to have this technology.
Yeah, someone beat them to the punch and already sold it to them, and then they're all like, "Well, what are we gonna do?" And to me, it's like, well, what the fuck did you think was gonna happen if you sold to them? The exact same thing was gonna happen. And So already, I'm like, Mark Miller just making his characters completely fucking stupid to move the premise of the story forward.
Right.
It's like, well, what the hell do you think was going to happen?
Yeah, they're up pretty...
Do you think that they were just going to give you the money and they were going to leave you alone and nothing bad was going to come of it? I don't know, man. This is just fucking bullshit.
Well, you know what it is? It's Mark Miller, and let me throw out a radical idea out there. It's Mark Miller making a case that the American soldier is just not a noble character. That the American soldier, I mean, you can talk about the level of education that you find within the armed forces, that they typically recruit from folks from economically depressed backgrounds, and that when you give these people this type of power, they're not going to know how to handle it. Maybe it's just Mark Miller saying that, you know, America's forces are a bunch of dimwits, and they can't be trusted with that kind of power. Maybe that's what he's trying to say, and if that's what he's trying to say, well, you know, you got to be a little more, you got to send the message a little more directly, because you're just making the protagonists of your story seem like dimwits, you know, like they have no idea what they're doing, which makes for very uncompelling drama. It just,
to me, now that the protagonists are like, oh shit, you know, and I guess at some point, like, one of the brothers, again, who was the only sympathetic character out of the entire series, was the brother, like the younger brother. And now these guys are going to have to go fight them, and I'm going to be like, good, I hope they all fucking die.
Right.
It's because I don't care about any of them.
Right, exactly. So, you know.
And I think you need to preface, again, what you're saying about soldiers, and that this is Mark
Miller's.
Exactly.
Right.
This is not what we're saying.
No.
This is Mark Miller's interpretation of it.
Right.
We believe.
No, and you know, I have 3 brothers who've all served in the military, and you know, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for what our soldiers do, especially the sacrifices they make. So I go back to, again, has Mark Miller ever worked with teens in the inner city? I don't know. Has Mark Miller ever served in the military? I don't know. The characters that are being painted here, you know, if you just want to paint these characters as selfish and mercenary, that's one thing. They're being painted as buffoons, which is kind of, you know, which just makes for poor character development.
And again, like, why?
Stupid.
You've already made me dislike these characters after issue 2. It's like, why would I care why would I want to read this series anymore?
Why? Exactly. There's no one in here to root for. There's no one to root for.
Well, the brother who's about to get killed at the very end, he's the only decent character in this entire series.
Yeah. Okay.
But whatever, man.
Whatever. Took a long time for that book to come out, and there's still 2 more to go.
Jesus, yeah. No, it's 3 more to go.
3 more?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a 6. Wow, jeez.
So maybe around 2012, this thing will wrap up and the softcover will come out of the trade.
Oh, the movie. There'll be talk about the movie.
That's right. That is true.
All right. Well, it should be obvious by now I was being facetious when I said we love some war heroes. When we come back, we will be talking about a book that I do genuinely love. We hope we see you then.